Check once where the bros are here. Talking soccer, sipping root beer. From the stands to the pitch to your ears tonight. They break it down, no fluff, no gloss. Goals and misses, they count the cost. Laugh aloud while they analyze the fight. RSL bros, they're running the show. Kicking it live where the fans all go. From the mountains high to the valley low. RSL bros, they're in the know.
RSL Nation! Good evening.
Welcome back to the RSL Bros. This right here is the podcast where everyone here is a coach, a ref, and we still get things wrong.
What?
I'm not a coach or a ref.
Oh,
What? Christian's the exception here.
what are you then? You're just a fan then, a player.
A fan?
You
A
play.
fan,
A former player.
a fan who's still getting things wrong as well.
Look at this guy. He's just firing off. We're like 10 seconds into this thing. He's already firing off.
I'm gonna be the bigger man here.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. We'll try to keep it family friendly because when you're here, you are family, even though we do have family feuds. Anyways, guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're listening to this. Welcome to the RSL Bros, the only place where we are named the Bros. Yeah.
Todos hermanos aquí.
Sure.
Except we're cousins.
I almost want to start this over again. I'm just kidding, guys.
Oh.
So, I think we're a little bit over the top excited, only because we finally got to see RSL play today.
It was good to see them play.
I know that there's probably some people that are listening right now within like the first 30 seconds. One, too much energy. Two, guys, chill out. It's just a preseason game. I mean, whatever. Guys, if you know us, we are sickos for soccer. And if it's our team, we're even more sickos.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna talk about today's game. Thursday's game. The one against what was the team's name?
Randers
FC.
Here, I'm getting names wrong again already. Randers. And so we're gonna talk about that game. What?
Oh, I'd say Randers, but I don't know. It's a Danish team. They're in the Danish Super League, in the same league as Brøndby, where a certain Gavin Beavers plays.
We will be playing Brøndby. If I'm not mistaken, on Monday.
Correct.
Yeah. Something like that. Okay. So, we're going to talk about that too. So we're going to break down the game that we saw today. What we saw, the lineups, the playing style, everyone's first real game. We'll call it a real game. We'll get into this upcoming schedule just a little bit, just so people are aware. And by the way, I thought today's stream was like a surprise yesterday. I was like, thank you, RSL, for giving us a stream.
They listen.
I mean, it was a great surprise. I hope that there's more streams. I'm going to assume yes, but I'm not going to get my hopes up.
As a fan, I'm very appreciative.
Yes. So here's the hoping for more streams. After that, we're going to get into one of the biggest topics this week in the RSL world was the Miller Sports survey that got sent out. There's some eyebrow raising and some we're going to talk about some of those questions and figure out if there's anything to be reading between the lines. We're going to talk about, there's a rumor going around that started today on the Twitters, and it kind of spread everywhere. So there's rumors, and then, as always, we're going to get to your guys' Instagram questions, which, Marcos, I saw a couple of them. Don't skip them, because I think there's some of them that warrant at least a one-liner response.
Okay.
But for those of you guys who won't make it to the very end, I'm going to give a quick plug. We do have our watch party February 21st at Kaye, 5:30 p.m. Make sure you guys are there. You don't want to miss out on this fun opportunity to come to Kaye.
I mean,
hang out with us.
Yeah, I mean, even if it isn't for us, like, come be with other RSL fans and watch the game.
That too.
Yeah, you can either laugh, cry, yell, laugh with us, Did I
Or
say
come play
laugh twice?
or come play Christian in soccer.
Christian will play soccer during the game.
Not during the
Halftime,
game.
halftime,
Halftime. Come on.
halftime.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna send my kid out there, and Christian's gonna get whooped by my kid. So
Hmm.
I look off camera because he's right there, and so he looks at me like the exact same look as Christian. So, anyways,
I was gonna say I just whooped him at a family party. So
Ooh.
uh, maybe he does really well. No, he doesn't do well at foosball either. Anyways, next time you have a chance to play against a 7, 8 year old, we'll
At
get
that point,
everyone.
at that point he'll be 8. So
Yeah, it's true. All right, guys, let's get into this game because really, this game it had a lot of interesting points. Unfortunately, I didn't see any stats like number wise, so we won't go off of stats. But let's give out this starting lineup real quick. Marcos, do you have that the first half starting
I,
lineup?
I got you. I got you. So first half starting lineup went something like this. We got Rafa in goal. We got Ruben Mesales, Justin Glad, Lucas Engel, Griffin Dillon, Noel Kaliskin, DeAndre Yedlin, Diego Luna, Zach Booth, Dominic Marchuch, and Xavier Gozo.
All right. Any surprises from the availability that we have from the preseason roster? Any surprises on this first half lineup that you would have been like, I wouldn't have started them beginning of the game.
For me, the one change that I would do for the first half is maybe do Junqua instead of Glad.
Interesting, but Glad was playing that center back. He was the middle. You put Junka in the middle,
Just so we can see how he plays in that center back role.
mm,
Just do it as a trial run.
I disagree. We already had a trial player on on the roster. I don't think I'd put him in the middle. I think Junka and Engel play the same exact position.
yeah,
So I think I would maybe have wanted Engel in Glad's spot, to be honest.
that's an interesting take as well. I don't know. For those who weren't able to watch, what was interesting is that this was a rare Pablo moment where he changed his formation.
Which, from the sounds of it, this might be the way it's going to be the rest of the season.
Which wouldn't surprise me with tweaking once he settles on his starting 11. Because it's obvious he's testing things with this, which, I mean, better test it here than against Vancouver, if I'm going to be
Right.
honest. But from the first half, players that stood out to me, Lucas Engel, loved watching him play on the field. Dominic Marchuk played with energy and desire. For the Spanish listeners, it'd be ganas de jugar. And
Yes.
Zach Booth was a very pleasant surprise. I loved the effort of those three in particular during the first half.
To go to your point with Dom, because going back to the press conference, he said that he didn't really jive. He didn't like his time with Cincinnati. He's showing coming back to RSL that was, I guess, a mistake in a sense that he deserves to have that starting role to be with RSL.
But Pablo said in the post game though that they had a discussion before he went out on loan. Dom wasn't up to the level that he wanted to be at or where he was expected to be at. The loan did him well in the sense that I think he realized what he had with RSL. And his experience, obviously, you're saying it wasn't a good one. Coming back to RSL, I think it's just a rekindling of the flame.
Yeah, he looked happy to be back with the team, and that says a lot. I think, to Pablo's credit, that's got to say a lot about what the locker room's like, and it's probably got a lot to do with team chemistry and just
or Pablo himself.
Yeah,
because
I'm giving credit where credit seems to be due. I mean, a lot of people, especially in the RSL sphere, tend to be pessimistic, which, given everything that's happened since 2009, is a bit fair. But I tend to be more optimistic, and I'm seeing a lot of positives from this little moment right here.
Oh
No,
yeah.
I was very impressed with Dom having the willingness and the drive to take that shot right there in the box and
Oh,
score that goal. Amazing. Player for me, in my opinion, that didn't have a great first half was Diego. I think it was maybe first game, just a little bit of the jitters. I don't know if it was the travel or anything, but he didn't have a great 45.
Mm, I'll say it was on par with how he's supposed to be. He had a lot of good moments. I know maybe we're expecting superstar level
Oh,
out of him.
I was about to say that. Do you feel like with him now being on the national team, World Cup in a couple of months, we're expecting this Pulisic level type player every match?
Well, that's the thing. I think that's maybe the individualized.
yeah, they're different.
Well, that
And
too.
well, and also Diego Luna, we Americans think superstar and superstar immediately has to equal prolific goal scorer that scores 30 goals a season because that's what Americans like out of soccer is the goal scoring. And those of us who are more refined
Oh,
in our tastes know that there's way more to it, right?
yeah.
And
Yeah.
the impact players have, they could never score a goal in their career and still be considered amazing, incredible, prolific, necessary players just by the way they influence the ball in the field.
I mean, look at Ojeda. I mean, everyone speaks like great things about Ojeda, but and he scored what? Maybe it seems like 6 goals his whole time with the RSL. But
But
so
it was the way he created things when he was on the pitch.
I mean, he created stuff. I mean, again, we have to take this into consideration. Obviously, this is the first game the team has had officially together, trying to be as at the highest level as they can, being the first game of the preseason. We can't expect that much from them. We can't expect
Well,
to the moon.
also granted, you look at who's starting in this first half as mostly all of our first string guys. No Victor as well, who he probably would if he was there would be starting up top with Gozo.
Yeah. So I guess there were a lot of starters. I think I
Mhm.
out of the that starting 11, I would say one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 to 8 players are in the starting 11.
Agreed. Agreed.
Um, I would maybe leave out Masales,
Mhm.
Dylan, and Booth, and
Yeah.
maybe Markchuk. I mean that with how Dom played today, there's going to be high competition between him and Gozo.
If
Absolutely.
I'm taking off Booth, I'm shifting Gozo to where Booth was and putting G on top.
Well, if you notice in the first half, Booth actually switched sides with. He started on the right side, then he
Right.
went over to the left side, and it could be purely tactical. I mean, there's a lot of switching around usually with those positions, but it looked like Dom obviously his strong side is the right side, um, and so that's where I know there's going to be high competition between Dom, even who would we just say Booth, Dom Booth and Gozo for that right side is going to be absolutely ridiculous. Where I'm a little worried is the left side where we all we have is maybe Diego, but Diego's probably going to be in the middle.
Oh,
Di-
Wolf.
oh yeah, well, okay. Don't get into the second half yet, not yet. But I think everyone that played in the first half are all competing. They are competing.
Correct.
Um, So if I were to say ones that kind of disappointed me on their level was Kaliskin was a little bit sloppy, but granted, I know the conditions were not
Yeah.
optimal either. It was wet. Um, and Glad was very it felt nonchalant. It felt kind of sloppy as well. But
To be
those are
fair, with Caliscan, it did look like he took a couple of knocks, maybe had a hamstring, something happened, so we could give him the benefit of the doubt on that.
sure.
True. True. If I were to give a grade for this first half for the first team, I'm gonna go with probably a B minus. Like of course they scored, but to you guys' points to Kaliskin and Glad they weren't there. Yes, this was first preseason, but I wanted more. I wanted more out of this squad.
I mean, let's and for everyone listening, take this with a grain of salt. We're grading them as I mean, it sounds like we're grading them as if they were in mid-season form. We know this is first game of the season.
Yeah.
We
Well,
know this.
I'm
And
looking at what place Randers is in their season. I think they're ninth out of 12th.
mhm.
But they're also mid-season, aren't they? Or
Yeah.
or they're in their break. I don't know. I didn't really look
I
at,
think mid-season.
and so we can't really compare that. I mean, we're preseason. We haven't played a game in 2.5 months.
What does
So,
that say about MLS versus the Dutch league?
well, I mean, you're talking about mid to lower table RSL against a mid to lower table other team, and
Right.
they were pretty equal, and both were playing bench players, yada yada. So,
Yeah. It wasn't true full force teams against each other. I honestly think full force RSL versus a full force Randers, RSL's going to win.
I think so too.
And easily too.
There were a lot of moments in that first half where we got breakaways. Gozo, uh, Gozo is this close, guys, to being
Having
a great player. He's a good player for his age. He's this close. I'm telling you, if he has a little bit better touches in the final third on his breakaways, he has shots. He has goals nonstop.
Yeah, it was just frustrating how it took the first 10, 15 minutes. It was just very slow, very slow. Obviously, the weather, the field conditions had a big part of this, but it was a good first half. It was a decent first half that we had that shutout to go into halftime.
We needed that goal too. I think with all the effort that we had in that first half, a goal was deserved. Now they also deserved a goal too. They had some
Yeah,
attacks that you're like, "Eee."
their number 9 deserves a better team.
Which the first half or second half?
Um,
I think their second half
the,
9.
the second half, yeah.
I
That
was
guy is good.
that guy was fast. He had control, and he was letting him off. He was firing. So let's get into the second half. Christian, can you give us the second half lineup?
Yeah, don't have first names, but we had Stadahar in goal, Catranis, Junca, PQ, Henry, Villa, Pablo Luis, Marquez, Jesus Barea, Tyler Wolf, and an unnamed trialist who
So,
he'll remain unnamed because
but
we
his
don't
name was
have
his
anything
name was
official.
on he was on the back of his jersey.
I know, I know.
Everyone saw it.
His name is unnamed.
His name is unnamed. Club asked that it not be announced. I know, I know, I know.
I look like the emoji
No,
right now. It's like,
I know. Shh. Okay. I mean, so that was the lineup. Weaker lineup overall.
oh
I
yeah,
think that this lineup
Easily.
and this whole second half is what you would expect from a bench side squad. Yes, we got that second goal early in the second half, a good assist from Jesus to Wolf, and I was like, okay, Jesus, I see you. We doubted you a little bit. Same with Wolf, but that was a good start to the second half. But then after that, it just dwindled for me. We see this blunder by PQ to all blunders. And
I
that
mean,
was
Stabby, stabby.
guys. So having a goal within the first 2 minutes, I don't think says too much, except for the fact that you are ready to come out and play.
Right.
But
It's a
that's
shock
it.
and awe moment.
Yeah, because literally that's all that. That was literally the highlight of the second half. Because after that, like, to Marcus's point, you had PQ on skates. He look, he had good moments. He had good moments,
oh yeah,
but
he only had a goal line clearage. Uh,
it's clearance, not a clearage. I mean, unless you're talking
clear.
about
No, but that was his good moment that he had in the second half.
yes. But I guess what's frustrating is that we saw RSL defense on that play. It was PQ. He was kind of starting to gather, and then he falls for a fake. Um, what's his bucket? Henry didn't come over fast enough. He also stabbed. Junka didn't come in closer to the play. It was a combination of, you know what, RSL defense.
So what is this saying so far from this first game about our depth on the back line?
Better than it was, but still not what it needs to be.
I wonder.
Because, I mean, Catrani still had a very solid half. If I were to pick my MVPs of the second half, Catranis, Wolf.
Really?
I mean,
Bro,
honorable mention for the goal.
I mean,
like,
legit hit the after the goal, he was MIA.
I mean, fair.
Yeah.
I mean,
Like,
I don't think we saw him do anything the rest of the half.
Like I was gonna give my best performance of the second half to probably Pablo Ruiz.
I mean, yeah, Ruiz has to be in there. He's a consistent performer though,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
with his advanced age, quote unquote, he's a very solid backup in center midfield.
Definitely.
I would actually give Catranis the player of the half
Yeah.
probably along with
Easy.
Ruiz. I mean, those two obviously they have first team minutes, but Catranis is obviously first team level. They had to bring someone from the first team starting to the second half to like bring up the level, help the players that are developing, because
Yeah.
you have Villa who's on the Monarchs, you have Marquez that's on the Monarchs, and those two have stood out amongst in the Monarchs lineup, especially Villa, who I think he played on the U17 national team,
Correct.
along with Moisa. But I think those two were struggling, and I think it's just jitters, preseason jitters, trying to play with the first team. But I think that if we were to stick Catranis in the first half, that's much closer to what our actual starting lineup will be, barring obviously Victor coming in and whatnot. But yeah, the second half was a second team, first team. So second team RSL, first team Monarchs level.
How do you guys feel the second half lineup did when it came to using that back three?
Using them, they passed a lot more back there, which was useless possession.
Yeah.
There's a lot of times when Jesus would get the ball or Pablo would get the ball in the attacking half and they would drop it back. And in my head, I'm like, well, this is RSL. I don't know. It was frustrating to see the amount of times we passed it backwards, but I think it was in an effort to either gain possession, gain momentum, and it just it wasn't fitting.
Honestly, at the end of the day, a lot of good learning opportunities for these players in games that do and don't matter. I mean, if Arsenal, they're not going to go 0-3 in this preseason, but were they to go 0-3 in this preseason, no one would care.
No.
I mean,
Depends on the scoreline, but
Definitely.
I would have cared.
I mean, we care, obviously. But in the long run, if we were to go 0-3 in this preseason Atlantic Cup and then go and finish third in the West.
Well, yeah, but we'd have to wait until the end of this year to see that. But now how they play is a good indicator of what we have and how we're going to be playing here at the beginning. And if we're going to go back to like 2024, and what would I think I'm going to call it a historic run where we went on a 15 game unbeaten streak. We were in the run for Supporter Shield. I mean, we were playing top notch from the beginning. This last season, we played like we were cleaning toilets. It was just horrible. So I think preseason is a good indicator of how the beginning of the season is going to be. And this is a good way to start. And there's different room for improvement. But I saw a lot more positives than negatives.
No, overall from this first performance against Randers, I happy and impressed with Pablo and his coaching staff that they did a first team in the first half and kind of a bench squad for that second half, just so we can see where everybody's at, who meshes with who, where's the communication at overall with this team.
I do have a question though. We did talk about, I think it might have been last month, how we were worried that Pablo in other preseasons has played a lot of just bench players the whole preseason.
Correct.
Were you guys at all upset with how the first game lineup was? Was it better than expected? Was it you were expecting it?
I think as expected for me.
I think as expected. Yeah. I was expecting a mix of first teamers and second teamers and just kind of, again, using this first game to kind of gauge that experience and kind of see where the chemistry is starting to click. We're going to see different lineups against Brøndby at Monday at 6 a.m.
6 a.m. Gee whiz.
I'm up at 6 a.m.
I know you are. I'm not. All right. Well, fine. Let's leave this game away. Let's push off to the side. Just as a quick reminder to everyone, like Christian just said, Brøndby on Monday at 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. We do not know if it's going to be streamed. So RSL, we would love another surprise. We loved it. We are grateful for it, and please surprise us again. What's the game after that?
The last game in Portugal is against Dallas, and that game is on Friday, January 30th at 3 a.m.
Ugh. Oh yeah, I'm up. I am.
Buddy,
that one. I can guarantee that will not be streamed because who there aren't very many of you that are going to be up at 3 a.m. There may be some, but not enough to do a stream. Sorry, guys. We love you, but you're not worth it. All right, let's move on from that game from preseason. Let's get into this survey that Miller Sports put out, and that some of you guys have been commenting, throwing questions out there. In fact, I was doing it right before we started recording, and I think I got to one of the questions that was controversial, and I already lost my survey.
Which one? The survey. Can I just say, this survey was such a long survey. For those of you who took it, I was like, wow, that was quite the survey.
Yeah, I think I was on the one where, oh shoot, might have been part of the name logo.
Was it is Real Salt Lake part of Salt Lake or is it part of Utah?
I think I already did that one. I did Utah. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but is Real Salt Lake part of Salt Lake or is it part of Utah for you guys?
Utah.
Because I almost feel like that question, if we are going to try to read between the lines, it's like they want to try to see if they can bring in another team and put it somewhere else. So if it's like Salt Lake's team, they're going to try and make one in Ogden or in Provo or in St. George or something like that.
With the new USL Pro League.
Oh, maybe. I don't want to look into it too much, but that was kind of a weird question.
I mean, it could be they rebrand the Monarchs, put them into USL Pro League.
Rebranding would be interesting. Also, the one question, I think it was about the team name.
Mm-hmm.
What was that about? I know they're trying to get their feelers out there with how people think about RSL, but even throwing out the idea of rebranding, recolorizing, renaming teams, that it doesn't exist in soccer unless you move the team to another city, aka San Jose to Houston Dynamo.
No, I guess you look in the EPL, there's a few teams that have ever changed their logos. I think very few that have ever changed their logos.
I was going to say the only one I can think of was Manchester United, and that was 120 years ago. That
there's been
they
very
went from
few.
Green and yellow to the prolific red and white.
Oh, I mean, but you're talking complete difference because shields have changed. Cities changed their shield.
Sure.
West Ham, I believe, has changed before. Aston Villa has changed before, but that I'm totally fine with. But when it comes to the name, that is iconic. That never changes. That is who we are as a club. So when they're talking about in this survey the possibility or idea of changing Real Salt Lake, no, that should not be a possibility.
I mean, how would you change Real Salt? Like what name would you guys come up with?
Utah
Utah
FC.
FC.
Yeah.
But here's a funny thing about that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there's already a youth club called Utah FC.
There is.
And
And there's
Utah
already a
Royals are right
there's
there
already a
too.
Utah United too.
And there's also Utah United. Um,
It is
yeah.
the Millers, so they could buy the name.
They would buy the name.
Hmm.
Oh, like
Salt Lake Shooters,
Ew.
Salt Lake Strikers.
Ew.
Well, a
When
question-
the AYSO?
a question that I was thinking of after I took a survey, for you guys personally or RSL fans in general, do you think we would lose fandom from this?
Oh, yeah.
1000%.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
They would lose me. I as much as the team stays there, I well, no, all right, I retract. They wouldn't lose me completely, but I would definitely be using RSL gear for the rest of my life. I would not
100%.
be cheering for them as whatever name they would rebrand to. Also, if they change colors, I'm not changing colors unless they're like really cool colors.
No,
But I think
no.
we have really cool colors.
Cooler than the Claret and Cobalt?
Look, all right, guys, don't shoot me, okay? But I really love black and gold.
Whoa. There's already a Western Conference team that's black and gold.
I know.
Okay,
I'm just saying, but black
I
and
wonder.
gold.
I wonder why. I wonder why.
You shut up. Yes, because my son's club team is black and gold, black, white, and gold, and so it looks cool. It looks slick.
I would accept a black and gold RSL kit as a third kit.
It's true. It's true.
Can we get a black? Besides the goalie kit, can we get a black kit?
That'd be great as a third kit.
No, I think I speak
Red
for,
and black.
I think I speak for
Red and
everybody
black.
here when I think the Millers should be focusing on the team purchasing players or doing stadium expansions instead of changing the name, changing the colors, all these things. No,
Oh,
why should that be the focus?
That was one of the questions, was what would something to the effect of what would make you more interested in Real Salt Lake, and it gave you like the list of a
Mhm.
bunch of things. I
Correct.
put
Winning the
bringing
MLS Cup.
okay, that was one of mine, winning MLS Cup, bringing an international player,
Mhm.
and I
Yep.
forgot my last one, but definitely those two.
Yeah, agreed. 100%. Like that should be the main focus and priority. That should be players who we're bringing on the pitch, then the stadium, because that's obviously where fans want to come. And then from there, if you still are fans still hate it, then maybe the name, maybe the colors.
No. So here's
Nope.
the thing.
That's bottom tier for me.
Right, but I even think stadium enhancements is pretty far down. I'm not one to change much of the stadium enhancements. There has to be something about the stadium experience. Well, no, not even that. The team needs to get better in order to bring more butts into the seats. Period.
True.
Once you get a good product and you get butts into the seat consistently, sure. Let's talk about making stadium improvements. Let's talk about putting more roof over it. Let's talk about retractable roof, etc. But get me more butts in the seats by making the team better.
Yeah.
So,
No, I know some people. I was seeing comments that people are still frustrated that we're called Real, that we had to steal a name from Spain. That if people understood the history and the story behind how it came to be, you would understand.
well, I mean, actually, technically, LA Galaxy also came from Real Madrid. Their jersey.
That's
Just
true.
so you guys know, 'cause I think they had a band or something like that.
Mhm.
Anyways, that's why they're called the Galaxy, because Real Madrid, their nicknames are also the Galacticos.
Mhm.
So, anyways, there's a history amongst every team. So, any other questions that popped up to you guys, or any other thoughts on this survey before we move on? No? Wow.
I will
That's
say this.
Yeah.
Let me give the positive spin on this. I do appreciate the Millers reaching out, trying to figure out how all of this works. I think this is part of it. They're trying to see, where does RSL and the Royals and the Monarchs fit into the Utah sports scene? And and to bring back the earlier question, how do they drive engagement? How do they get more butts into seats?
I
And
will
they
say,
and it and if you're someone in marketing saying, all right, what are all the different potential variables? You are going to include maybe updating the colors, updating the name, updating the crest. You are going to include those things to give that the benefit of the doubt there. That's not saying that they are planning or going to do that, because honestly, there would be an uproar. Real Salt Lake if you're talking about branding wise, is a very, very well established brand. It's a well established team with history already. And you would be, frankly, really dumb if you were to change any of that.
definitely. I was just gonna say, if we were to have a new crest, I would want something like the Monarchs. That one screams more RSL than the one that we have currently at this moment.
Oh, you like the lion in
Oh,
the middle.
100%.
All right.
Absolutely.
I can see that. Yeah, to your point, Christian, I can see that. The positive spin is they want to know what's going on. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be biased. RSL, I think, is probably one of the most popular professional sports in Utah, because the Jazz have tanked.
And arguably the most successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So let's turn the page here, because we have one rumor that we need to get this out of the way. We really do. Twitter decided to gift us a rumor today after the game that we saw. I mean, I was already on cloud nine because, hey, look, we just saw RSL play again. I'm like, yeah. And so Twitter decided to gift us a rumor. The rumor is as follows from at juiced_blauwolf. All right.
That's a name.
I don't speak Dutch, so if I mispronounce the name, I apologize. Juiced Blauwolf said, translated from Dutch, news. How did I pronounce this guy's name? I sent it to you guys.
Stein.
Stein, that's right. Stein Spearings is heading to MLS. The midfielder is in the United States to sign a contract with Real Salt Lake, sources confirm. He is leaving Brøndby immediately.
That's rather convenient.
Oh, interesting. And we're playing them on Monday.
Very, very convenient.
If this turns out to even be remotely true, does he just walk across the field?
Well,
does he just take a left instead of a right?
Well. The tweet goes on further to say,
okay,
it says this: tomorrow, the midfielder will join the squad of his new club. Tomorrow being Friday. So by the time you listen to this, supposedly he's joining the squad of his new club.
So supposedly he might be playing against his former club on Monday. Oh, interesting.
I don't know how much of that part would be true, but this is the news that comes from Twitter from Juiced Blauwolf. He says more details via at VI_NL, which it's Voetbal International Netherlands. And by the way, that account has 461,000 followers.
So it looks pretty reliable.
So, because it's a rumor and we love rumors, has it. Rumor has it.
Stein Spearings, he plays as a central midfielder, and he's had a pretty good career. His best career was when he played for Toulouse over there in the French league.
In Ligue 2, because that's where Toulouse is. Toulouse has been in Ligue 1 before, but currently they're in Ligue 2. And I guess, where does this fit on the RSL depth chart? I mean, we're looking at a guy that, according to FOTMOB, center midfielder, defensive midfielder. How does he fit into this current new formation in this 3 or 5-4-1, or today it was a 3-2-3 or 3-2-4-1? Where does he fit for you guys?
That's a good question. I was going to probably have him be either a starter or a backup for a Kaliskin or an Anelli.
You would put him as a backup?
I'm just trying to think who he would start as central mid because if we have Diogo starting up there, is he someone that's better than a Diogo starting? Is he?
I mean, rest of our Sun Nation is looking at you like, is anyone
No.
better than Diogo?
Well, I'm just like looking at his stats wise, looking at aspiring stats wise.
I mean, I know Christian's looking at his stats right now. He's trying to research it the best that he can. What do you got?
I mean, here's the thing. I would need I would need to see him play to see where he really fits in because I mean, one positive, he's 6'2". He's a massive bro.
It's true.
29 years old, so neither young, neither old. Um, but in the past season, 817 minutes played, 2 goals, 1 assist, only started 9 out of 17 matches. Average rating of a 7, so above average, but
I mean, are we looking at a Matt Crooks replacement?
Yeah, probably.
feels like
Most
it.
likely.
I mean,
No,
just saying.
what catches my attention, you look at the FOTMob his player traits, 98% on his touches. That's like wow. His defensive contribution, 83%. His shot attempts, 84%. His chances created, 71% chances.
He seems very forward playing.
Yeah.
So if he were to be a defensive midfielder, I guess I'm just going to entertain everyone here. I'm going to compare him to maybe Brian Ojeda. Um, compared to a Brian Ojeda, guys, this guy is more offensive minded.
So he would fit right in with our new formation of playing a three back, of playing that more attack minded.
But that's what we're talking about here is who would he replace? Would you put him rather than Kaliskin? Would you put him rather than Emeka? Rather than Ruiz? Would you put him rather than Diogo? Would you try to move him forward more and push Diego off to a wing? So there's a lot of like gaps that were like where would this player fit? I mean,
That's a
and
again, assuming this is real and
right.
assuming it happens, I need to see him play. Like that's the thing. I didn't watch Brondby play. So I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you how he works and how he would fit into the squad.
Like obviously you can look at his past games that he's played. He's played some games he's played a defensive mid, some games he's played in central mid. But to Christian's point, I want to if this rumor does happen or whatever, I would need to see how he plays with the rest of the squad in these next couple preseason matches and what he where he is.
Yeah, that's what's tough about these rumors. Like to your point, Christian, until we see them play with the team. And I don't know how many people in the RSL world have been watching Brondby play for the past little while, except for maybe Gavin Beaver's family. But there are that's what's tough about this situation. But is this if this were to come to fruition, is this a signing that you guys would have expected or wanted for RSL right now in our situation?
Not the signing that I was
Eh,
hoping for. I think it's just in typical RSL fashion, an, a meh player coming from a meh club.
Now, we talked about literally we talked about this last episode on what we needed. In fact, there's a video clip of us talking about this on TikTok and YouTube about needing a commander in the midfield. We needed a general. We needed someone to just run the midfield for us. Could this be a guy that we need? Could this be someone that the front office saw and was like, you know what? Let's try for him.
Well, we haven't had a Dutch guy it's been 4 years since we've had a Dutch player.
We've had a Dutch player.
Kapelov.
Kapelov. Yes, wasn't he like he was like a
Oh,
defensive wing?
No, he was a center back.
yeah.
He was a center back.
He was a center back.
He was our last Dutch player back in 2021, 20 or 2022.
But didn't he play more Monarchs?
No.
Tells you where I was in 2020. um, wow. Have we ever had a Dutch player besides that?
2009.
Someone's been looking this up. Who was it?
I can't remember his name, but we did.
Okay. So there have been Dutch players within RSL.
No, but
Great.
no, but to your point, Alan, I with his age, I think he's coming on 30 years this year. He could possibly be that field general, replacing someone like Ojeda to help control that midfield.
Okay. All right. We won't dwell too much on this rumor because it hasn't been confirmed by the club, and this is obviously just a Twitter rumor.
Well, it always happens when you think about it too much. Those are the ones that never happen.
Yeah,
Right.
we won't go back with the Boa Vista last season drama,
Oof.
where we thought we were gonna get a striker and we ended up getting no one. Um, but
Or New
cool.
York or New York Red Bulls.
Oh yeah, New York Red Bull sending us like ghosting forwards as well. Um, and just by a way of look, I'm gonna say I don't do this very often, but because Christian brought it up in our group chat, Savarino is on the move again, right, Christian?
He
Where's
is.
where's he off to?
He's going from Botafogo to Fluminense.
Fluminense. All right,
Ooh,
staying in
ooh,
Brazil because
ooh.
that's where the money is. Um,
Not the competition.
I want to before we get into Instagram questions, I have a quick spiel. I hope it's only 30 seconds, and a lot of people are gonna hate me for this, but I need to get it off my
Uh-oh.
chest.
Oh
Okay.
boy.
And this is just Alan. This isn't RSL Bros. This is Alan. Do you remember when I mentioned that I'm not a huge fan of remembering or keeping track of old players and like talking about them, like the club talking about them and their future moves and whatnot?
Uh-huh.
Uh, do you guys know where I'm going with this?
Just spill
Let's
it.
let's spill. Let's hear it.
Why in the world is the club talking about Damir Kreilach moving from Vancouver back to Croatia and doing like these congratulations on your move back to Croatia, back to another club? Why? Like I understand like talking about really important members or players that have passed through the club. But why make a whole post about it when they aren't even an RSL player anymore? I understand, I really do. Feelings, whatever. But why?
No, you make a solid point. Like when I saw it too, I was kind of head scratching. Like, what are they doing? But he was an iconic player here. He had some good moments. The karate kick, like he had his own corner, the Krylak corner. But
I mean, we're not congratulating Sabarillo on his bicycle race that he did in Costa Rica. He's our all-time leading goal scorer. I mean, we're not doing stuff like that. I mean, we're I just don't know. It just seems really weird, really for me, the word is gonna be cringy. It seems really cringy to just do that kind of stuff. I mean, no one, I'm surprised. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but if we're gonna be following that same kind of route, why didn't the club congratulate or do a separate post for Javi for winning MLS Cup? I mean, yes, maybe it's because it's
They did
within
do a birthday post for him.
they did do a
again,
birthday post for
again,
him.
again, super weird, super weird. I don't get it, but maybe it's just for interactions. Anyways, that's
It was
just an Allen thing.
fair.
I'll leave it at that. So get mad at me all you want. All right, let's do this. Let's get into some Instagram questions. Let's answer whatever you guys have going on. Right,
I love it. I
Marcos,
love it. Here we go. Question number one: are you guys going to any away games this year?
should we?
That was my question. Should we?
What game?
Does anybody
I
want to host us?
San Diego is in
San
April.
Diego? Oh,
San Diego. You guys want to go to San Diego?
Eh,
in April?
You want to go to Colorado?
Colorado is more feasible.
Okay. Well,
I'm a cheapskate too.
TBD.
I think the want is there. We do want to do it. We just Marcos and I have to include Christian this time. We got to stop taking trips by ourselves, Marcos.
So, will we? Possibly. We just have to decide which stadium, which venue, all those things.
Miami. I'm just kidding.
They're coming here.
They're coming here. They're coming here. There we go. Next question for you guys. How hard / how long did it take for you guys to be part of the RSL media team?
We're not part of the RSL media team.
We're not part of the
We're
RSL.
independent.
We are.
We
But we are considered RSL related media.
True.
Related. Also, I don't want to. Sure, let's create competition. Guys, it's really not that hard. You just have to be consistent.
And we've been very fortunate that RSL's included us in a bunch of their stuff, and we're very grateful as well. They've been incredible hosts to us when they have us. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than incredible. It's been amazing. But yes, it's not that hard. It's just being consistent.
It's putting in the work, putting in the effort, and that's all it is for us.
Yep.
Next question. What do you guys think of our new players thus far?
Give me more than one game, and I'll give you an opinion.
Well, I'll give you my opinion in one game. I really love our new defender. I really do.
Okay, yeah, I will agree. I do like Luke.
Yeah.
Well, if we're including all of them, we got Engel, we got Booth.
I think Angle right now is the only one I'm gonna be goo goo gaga over because of how. I mean, but I failed to mention this. I don't know if you guys saw on the broadcast after Dom's goal, Angle came up to Gozo and kind of did a little arm around him and started talking to him.
I did see that.
Yeah, it was almost like a coaching moment of trying to help him out. I loved that. I absolutely loved it. And that's the kind of player I love to have.
Well, and I think now that we have Engel and we have DeAndre, that they played together in Cincinnati, they pair so nicely together in that back line.
They have that chemistry.
So nice.
They do.
Next question for you guys. Olives on Mexican food, good or nah?
What Mexican food has olives on it?
I don't know.
Green olive. I mean, not green. Black olives on tacos.
Who puts black olives on tacos?
I mean, if someone puts them on, I'll eat it.
But I mean, I've seen it on bean dip, but that's more Tex-Mex.
I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no olives.
Olives never belong on true Mexican food, but
that's why I said Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex is where it belongs. 7-layer bean dip.
Yep. Next question. Pablo mentioned looking at a midfielder from a top 5 league. Which league do y'all think it is?
I mean,
the Croatian league.
That's not a top 5 league. What?
I got you.
Top 10 soccer leagues in the world.
What the heck, Marcos?
If we are looking at, let's see, top 10 leagues, general consensus, number 1, EPL, number 2, La Liga, number 3, Bundesliga, number 4, the Serie A, and number 5, Ligue 1. So take your pick.
Wait, I gotta know where's the Croatian league?
Not on the top 10.
Not even top 10, Marcos. You're like so off. What the heck?
No. According to this list, number 6, Brasileiro Serie A.
But that's European.
That's
the question was a top 5 European.
Yeah.
Okay, and then number 5 beyond that would be La Liga Portugal, according to this list.
Probably Eredivisie.
Or Eredivisie is number 8 on this list. Number 9 on the list, MLS.
Interesting.
And then number 10, Liga MX.
Take that, Liga MX.
That's honorable mentions to the Belgian League, the Championship, in the Saudi Pro League for some reason. I don't know if
The Argentine league is better than the Saudi Pro League.
USL Pro is better than the. I'm joking. USL Pro is not
Yeah.
better than the Saudi Pro League.
Whatever. There you go. Croatia is not even in the top 20.
Unfortunate. Next question for you guys. Where is Victor Olatunji?
In Nigeria.
So he is a visa. Visa.
That's all we were given. Visa. Period.
Yeah.
How long? We don't know. Visa.
Unfortunate.
What's in your wallet?
Next question for you guys. Should RSL try and sign Weston McKennie this summer transfer window?
Look, the question is phrased wrong. Okay. I think it should be, do you want Weston McKennie to come? My answer is no.
If we were to sign another separate U.S. men's national team player to RSL, I would swoop in on Josh Sargent.
Too late.
He didn't sign with Toronto yet. It's in the works. That's why I chose my words carefully. Swoop in. Show them that Salt Lake City is infinitely better than Toronto.
I think they're asking for like 13 mil.
No, a couple of years ago, I would have signed Weston McKennie. He was a decent player, but now he hasn't been as good.
Hot take, I would have never signed Weston McKennie, ever.
Hold on. You're way undervaluing Weston McKennie. He's consistently scoring in the Champions League for Juventus.
This is true. But my thing is I wouldn't get him because of I don't think his personality is the best.
His style doesn't fit RSL either.
Yeah, you're looking at someone who's like thinks he's all that, and that's not an attitude I want. I want someone who's good, his level, but humble. Messi.
Let's sign Messi. Let's do it.
Do it.
There we go. Last and final question for you guys. What are your thoughts on a rebrand and the Miller's survey?
Look, we already went over it.
We said it. Rebranding RSL would be a poor decision. I love the Millers and their history with Utah, but
I will say though, if we're gonna talk about the Millers real quick, I really liked the change. Obviously, the old change from like 80s jazz to like mountain jazz, mid 90s. That was great. And then when they changed the colors to like a blue, dark blue, white, that I like that one, like the D Williams.
That feels like Sporting Kansas.
I know. I'm just talking about if we're gonna talk about the Miller's history and changing.
No, if they were gonna do like a slight change like that I could be totally on board with. But if it's a total huge thing, no.
I mean, look at this shirt. This is a shirt from 2009. It's still in good quality. Sorry for anyone who's listening can't see it. I wouldn't mind this as an alternate crest. Just the circle. And
then this is obviously the new. Well, I mean, it's the same crest, except it's now in an actual shield.
Right. Just pull Colorado. Just take away the shield.
Just take away the shield. Yeah. I guess with the Millers, I would trust them maybe with a very slight color change, but it has to be very slight. But even then, the
neon colors all day.
But actually, speaking of slight color changes, I actually didn't like the Beehive kit because of the slight color change. So maybe I wouldn't be okay with the slight color change. Beehive kit, probably one of the worst. I never liked it. I have it, but I don't like it. Mustard.
Interesting. It is.
All right, guys, that's all we have for today. There's stuff that's going to be going down. It's going to be coming down the pipeline. We'll try to keep up. But sometimes life gets a little busy and we might miss an episode or two here and there, but we're here for all of it. We're here for RSL, as the famous song would say. But you guys, any last words on what's happening this next week? Anything exciting for you guys for RSL?
Not RSL related, but you know who kicks off this weekend? River Plate. River Plate is back.
Yes, they are.
River Plate is back this weekend. Argentine football is back, thank goodness.
Woohoo!
I think the
Another
Utah
favorite team.
Royals are. I mean, the Utah Royals have begun their preseason. I don't remember when their preseason trip is. They're going down to California for their preseason trip.
Good place to go. I'm gonna be going to Mesquite here in about 2 weeks. So,
Excellent.
in fact, I think that week we might be recording from me in Mesquite. So,
Ooh,
that might be one to look forward to. So, all right, guys, that's a wrap for us. Marcos, take it away.
If you guys aren't already, head over to TikTok, head over to Instagram, and head over to X and follow us at the RSL Bros. Catch us wherever you catch your podcasts on Spotify and Apple, and watch us on YouTube.
That was a good one. That was a really good one. All right, guys.
And also, make sure you put on your calendar February 21st. We'll see you guys at Kaye for our watch party.
That's true. That's true. Be there and be square, according to Marcos.
So, be there and be square.
Peace out, guys. Bye.